Yes. So we are going live and we are going to start with tonight on a very interesting topic. The topic is depression. Brilliant. So who and all are there? Let's have a look of who and all are there. Steen and yes. So today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic, and the topic is on depression. Okay, so I know all of you must be thinking about depression, and you'll be talking about depression, you'll be thinking about depression, and I think every human being on planet earth goes through depression. Everyone goes through depression in one form or the other. So let's wait for everyone to join, and once everyone joins we will start out. Yes, hello, how are you all doing? I think a lot of you have already joined. Yeah, brilliant. A lot of you have already joined, and here we have, yes, Radhi is there. Hi, Radhi. Praveen is there. Ilavarasan is there. Hi, Ilavarasan. How are you? A lot of you all are come over here. So good. So I know a lot of you have been writing to me about yesterday's video on the 5 E's, and I think there was a huge number of you who asked that you want to know about depression and what happens in depression and what are the things that go through in depression. So that's why I thought today that I will pick up the topic of depression. What is depression and how are you all going to go through that? Okay. So now, first, let's start off with a big round of applause for all of you all for being here. Thank you all. We are streaming in around 7 to 8 platforms at the same time. So people who are from YouTube, Live Life, people who are from all the other platforms, thank you so much. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be here and speak to you about this very pertaining topic. So what is depression? Okay. Now, all of us go through depression. So please understand this very clearly. Depression is not a bad phenomenon. I repeat, depression is not a bad phenomenon. It is something that all of us goes through in different phases. Now, you need to clearly understand the difference between real depression, that is the clinical depression, and what we call as the psychological or the mood depression. That is the depression wherein which you're just upset because of a situation which is very transient. That's not a clinical depression. So the first and foremost that you need to understand about depression is this: how do you actually say what is depression and what is upset? Upset is different from depression. I repeat, upset is different from depression. So what is depression? Depression means having a sustained low mood, dull mood, lack of interest in pleasurable, increased lack of interest in pleasurable activities. These two are the cardinal symptoms. One is sustained dull mood all through the day, increased in disinterested in normally pleasurable activities, then feeling of hopelessness, worthlessness, and helplessness. I repeat, hopelessness, worthlessness, and helplessness. Along with these three symptoms, you can also find the symptoms such as decreased appetite. You don't want to eat a lot. You feel very dull. Your sleep gets affected. And these are all the cardinal features. Now, when do you say it's a depression? For something to be a depression, it should be sustained throughout for at least a period of 2 weeks. Again, I repeat, it should at least be for a period of 2 weeks. Anything less than 2 weeks cannot come under depression. So if you lost something and you're feeling upset for a couple of days, that's not depression, that's upset. That is a reactive kind of a depression to that situation. That's not a clinical depression. Are you all getting that? So that means you have to have it for a minimum period of 2 weeks. That's when you qualify it and say it's a depression. Hi, Himanshu. Hi, Renuka. Hi, Rupa. Hi, Balaji. Oh, wow. All of you are here. Brilliant. All right. So that's where you call it as a depressive phenomenon. Now, why do I get depressed? Everybody has this. Some people are always excited, happy, cheerful. They're always energetic about different things. But why is it that I am all the time getting depressed? Anything the mood comes. So, in order to understand the cause of depression, there are a multifactorial causes. It could be genetic. That means what? Your father, mother, and your family have an environment. This environment would have given you a lot of stimulus on that is your first defense mechanism, psychological defense mechanism to a crisis. Now, if they were depressive personalities, or if they were people who went through depressive bouts, or they were very anxious personalities, or they had an abusive relationship with you, the chances of you having depression is increasingly higher. This is why we say the genetic predisposition. The second thing that you want to know is your defense mechanism. Every human being has a defense mechanism. It could be a kind of a way you handle a situation. Like when you touch an electric rod, you immediately take it. That's a reflex action. Same way, you have a defense mechanism to any stimulus or any problem that you go through. So that defense mechanism for certain people is not as developed as for the other people. So that's another reason you go through. Then medical conditions such as hypothyroid, cancer, going through a stressful illness, all of these can lead to a very sustained amount of depression. Second, loss of loved one, loss of self-worth, a sudden death, which is something very, very dear to you, a dear family member, a dear someone very close to you. If the grieving period goes about 2 weeks to a month and a half, then we say it as a depressed phenomenon. So these are the reasons why people go in for depressions. Then other than this, there is a whole lot of things that people go through for depression, starting from thyroid issues, starting from mood related, financial loss is a big cause of depression, spouse related abuse, spouse related stressors in the house, conflict at work, conflict at other places. That's a real cause of depression. And in depression itself, you have a lot of people who come up to me and he says, "Ennappa pannanum theriyala, dulla irukku sir, whole day dulla irukku, enna pannalum dulla irukku, or enthusiasm illa." So many of us goes through that. This is what we call as seasonal depression. Seasonal depression or situational depression. That's a style where in which at a particular season, when you have this rainy season, winter season, gloomy season, people feel very, very dull. So they start seeking for people to want to be with each other, wanting to go for each other and everybody. So there's a difference between depression and upset. Upset is something that is transient, specific to a particular situation. Say, for example, my wife shouted at me. I am upset about it for a couple of weeks. But when I am with my friends, when I go for work, when I do other activities, I am very normal. So that means I don't come under depression. I'm more of an upset and anxiety and stress. That's it. I don't go into the clinical depressive phenomenon. Now, what happens when depression goes into clinical? Now, it's like this. My body capacity is I can run for 1 kilometer. Now, if I start running for 5 to 6 kilometers, what will happen? My body system will collapse. And then the body will try to adapt to that. It's the same with depression. When you have stressors and depressive thoughts in your mind over a period of time, what happens? Over a period of time, you start going dull, you start losing interest, and after that, your body does not get into a normal situation. Yes. So that is where it happens. And one of the most important things of depression, you need to really, really understand. You are not alone. I repeat, you are not alone. Yes. That means what? 30 to 50% of the planet goes through depression, anxiety, and stress at multiple times inside of their lives. They go through multiple times. So it's natural to feel a little low and upset. My humble request to all of y'all, kindly don't stigmatize somebody if they come and tell you, I'm feeling very low, I'm feeling very depressed. Don't stigmatize them. What they require is support and empathy and understanding. All of you, write us down. Supporting them, empathizing with them, and an understanding of them. The worst thing you can do, I repeat, The worst thing you can do is when someone comes to you with depression and you start advising the person, blah, 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 blah. Then you start judging the person. Then you start saying, okay, do like this, do like that, do like this. You know, when I went through like that, I did like this. Please, they didn't come to you for your advice. They know how to come out of this. All they are asking is just a little bit of heart, little bit of understanding, and a little bit of support. So I think the first step for all of us is please don't stigmatize. Never stigmatize depression. Second, please don't always, if someone comes and tell you, support them, empathize with them, understand them. 60 to 70% of depression goes off as placebo when we give drugs. You know, even if you give a vitamin tablet saying it's an antidepressant, it goes off. That means what? That means what? They are really aching for someone to speak their mind out, aching for someone to support them, aching for someone to empathize with them, not sit and advise, judge, criticize, complain, and condemn their life. No. The worst thing you can do, you know, if someone comes and tells you, I'm feeling very depressed, and the worst thing you can do is, oh, you're feeling depressed, huh? What is depressed for you? You know, you're having such a great life. You're like this, you're so famous, you're like that. That moves them into more depression. They start getting more anxious. They feel they are very low. They feel they are not standing up to their commitment which they gave you. So my take for all of y'all, if someone is coming to you with depression, please give that support. Please give that empathy, understanding, and don't stigmatize them. This is my humble request. I tell you, 70 to 80% of suicides can be prevented if there are people to support them, listen to them, and empathize with them. That's the key over here. If you all agree, empathy is the key. Type out on the chat box, empathy. Come on, everybody. Type out on the chat box, empathy. If you all agree that empathy is the key, putting yourself in that person's shoes and feeling their pain and hurt is the key for them to come out of that depression. So that's the key over here. Empathy is the key. The next thing that I want to tell all of y'all is when someone comes to you with depression, there are certain signs and symptoms you can ask. So I'll tell you which says the seriousness. So first is, all of you can write this down because this will be something phenomenal for you because nobody else will tell you this. The first thing is, write this down, all of you. Negative view of oneself. Negative view of oneself. What does that mean? I am not good enough. I am bad. I am like this. I am like that. I am always like this. They start talking. Okay, that's negative view of oneself. That's the first thing of negative connotation starting. The second thing that starts is, I am not good enough, but everybody thinks I am not good enough. My father doesn't like me. My wife doesn't like me. My parents don't like me. My sister doesn't like me. My friends don't like me. My colleagues don't like me. When they start talking that language, that means what? They are now moving the depression from the self to the people around them. Are you all getting that? So the first step of depression progression is, I am not good enough. I am a bad person. My life is like this. Second, it moves to the people around them. So-and-so doesn't like me. So-and-so doesn't like me. They are feeling me bad. My mama doesn't like me. My friends don't like me. My wife doesn't like me. Then it goes around. That's a negative view of the surrounding. And the third and the most dangerous part, is this. Negative view of oneself. I am not good enough. People around me think I am not good enough, because of which I will never have a future in my life. That is negative view of the future. Now, when a person has negative view of the future, that is where they think of committing suicide. That is where they feel very lonely. That is where they feel that, oh my God, my life is not worthy. Why do I want to live? Why should I live? Why can't I die? It is better to die than to live. Now, classically, this you will see, when there is a strong negative view of the future, because of which they don't have happiness in the present, and they believe by killing themselves, they will not be able to face that particular negative future. This is the psychology behind a suicide. Say, for example, you have a severe financial crisis. Now, your future is that you can never come out of the crisis. Your life is doomed. What will happen and everything. And because of which you feel that by ending my life now, I don't need to face that future. Love affair failure. A love affair fails, and then these children have lived that love affair in their life, in their mindset for a couple of years. Suddenly that person has moved out of that love affair. They feel very depressed that that person is not there. So they believe that by killing themselves, they're not putting themselves into that future. An exam failure. Because I failed in my exam, my life itself is completely gone. Because my life is gone, my parents are getting affected. So my whole life is gone. So because of which, by killing myself now, I will not face that particular future. So this is what we call as the negative view of the future. Now, when you have this negative view very strong, that is where they contemplate about committing suicide. That's the dangerous part. I'm telling you, a lot of people ask me why I do what I do. You know why I do what I do? When I started off my life, there was this one patient that came into my life, this little boy who wanted to live. The schools were all chucking them out because the boy was very hyperactive. And I gave him medication and told him to come back next week, but the boy didn't come. 6 months later, I hear from the mother that the boy committed suicide by jumping from the parapet wall head down. The head of the boy split into two, and they got the body from the neck downwards. The reason for that boy committing suicide was because the principal gave the boy TC and the teacher bet that particular boy. That death really shook me a lot. That death of that child really, really shook me a lot. And that day I realized something in my life. No child should ever commit suicide in this world. And that interest only I started this organization called Live Life Education. Because I truly believe that every child deserves a chance to live. Every life on this planet deserves a chance to live. And I think every human being also deserves a chance to live. And it's my dream that every one of you listening over here also, never in your wildest of dreams, also contemplate about committing suicide. Because please understand, your life is your biggest gift. There's nothing bigger than your life. The breath that you leave, goes in and comes out, the day that leaves, your life snaps out. So protect it, look after it, because that's what life is all about. Yeah, wonderful. So with this, we will start off with a small saying. I always say this, that how do you handle depression? Now we will go to the areas where you handle depression. Okay. So now what are the places that you will handle depression? Okay. How do you handle depression? So all of you write this down. There are 2 ways to handle depression. 2 ways. Okay. Yes, Renuka, every child is special. Do you all agree that every child is special? Every one of you watching over here. If you're all a parent, do you all remember the first time you saw the smile in the eyes of your child? Yes or no? Type out yes or no on the chat box. Come on, everybody. Come on. Type out yes or no on the chat box. If you really remember that first child smile. Yes. That's how precious a child's gift is. That's how precious a child is. And I think every one of us should value this beautiful gift called life, and should also value the beautiful gifts around us called life. Because ultimately, I have this saying I live by in my life. This was taught by my spiritual guru once, and it is from the Vedas. It says something very beautiful. It says, whoever you are in life, okay, your mind, I repeat, your mind is your best friend from your birth till your death. Don't hurt him for whomsoever, whatsoever. I repeat, your mind is your best friend from birth till death. So don't hurt him for whomsoever, whatsoever. And that is what I really want all of you to understand. Your mind and your conscience is your best gift. Start to protect it, start to nurture it, and start to love yourself. One of the biggest reasons why people go into depression or people go into suicidal intention is because they don't love who they are in the mirror. If you don't love yourself, if you don't love that person who you are, where you see in the mirror the reflection of who you are in your conscience, then I tell you, that is where the seed for depression starts. When you love yourself and when you own yourself, then your self-esteem is your biggest protection for your depression. Then no matter what, you always have that confidence and pillar to face anything in your life. Yeah, brilliant. So the first thing that I want all of you in handling depression is self-esteem. Write this down. Self-esteem and self-worth are the two pillars. They are the two pillars of whatever you handle in your life. How you feel about yourself, your esteem, and how much worthy you feel that you can handle that challenge inside of your life. These are the two things that actually determines which direction your brain actually goes. So if you focus on the self-esteem part, how do I build my self-esteem? And how do I build my self-worth? And the moment it is the self-worth and self-esteem, and the moment you start taking care of your self-worth and self-esteem, automatically you will start coming out of depression. So now I've written down 10 points. Okay, all of you take your books out. All of you take your books out. If you have a paper, pen, if not, just put it up on the chat box. Okay, whatever I'm saying, put it up on the chat box, right? So come on, all of you are learning a lot. If you're all learning a lot, type out lot on the chat box. Come on, everybody. Type out lot on the chat box. How many of you are learning a lot? Brilliant. So many of you are learning a lot. Awesome. 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 So now, let me ask all of you this question, okay? One of the things that I usually feel when you handle depression is that first you need to know what type of depression you're going through, okay? So first one is double depression. Double depression is what? You have multiple issues you're facing, because of which that's why you start going into depression. So that's a multiple issue kind of depression. So it's called a double depression. That means they will be very normal, but they'll be dull. They'll do all their activities, but they will feel like, that low mood. So that's one kind of depression. Then you have the clinical depression. Clinical depression is because of the biological neurotransmitters, they are feeling depressed. Third, you have a non-clinical, psychological, environmental, situational depression. Because of issues in their life, they are feeling depressed. Then you have postpartum depression, prenatal depression. Then you have stressor-related depression. Then you have a whole gamut of medical-related depression. So now let's not go into that. Now, when the depression is becoming very serious, that is more than 1 month or 2 months, kindly seek professional help. I repeat, kindly seek a good professional help if it goes more than 1 month or 2 months. Now, before that, I'm going to now give you 10 steps, okay? 10 steps that will help you handle any kind of depression and failure very, very effectively, okay? If you master these 10 steps, take it from me, I will challenge you. There's a less than a 0.1% chance you will go depressed psychologically. You will always be positive and you'll always be excited. So these are 10 points that I use in my life. I do it with all my patients, my clients, my friends, my students, and this has helped bring hundreds of people out of depression. I have helped people like come out of suicide like this. So these are my techniques, and I'm going to give this all as a gift for all of y'all. Okay. So now I will start off with the first step. Okay. Always understand, whenever you face something psychological, whenever you face something as a challenge or a failure, try this strategy. Okay. All of you write this down. The strategy is called KWINK. KWIKN. KWIKN. Type it out of the chat box. KWIKN. That's called the KWINK strategy. Okay. Now, what is the KWIK? What does it stand for? KWIKN stands for knowing what I know now. Write it again. Knowing what I know now. That's the first step. That means what? Say you're faced with a failure. Okay, you face something, or maybe the corona crisis, you lost some money, you went into a stressor, and whatever you're going through. Knowing what I know now, what do you think I would have done differently previously? Now, say for example, my example. Knowing what I know now, what do you think I would have done previously before the lockdown? I would have focused on online education. I could have focused on learning, pivoting my business into an online firm before itself. I could have saved more money so that to handle me on in a kind of a downfall. I could have pivoted my business with multiple verticals. I could have created a passive income. So these are the things that I have learned from this particular situation. Then what do? Then you take action steps. Write this down, action steps to do all of those things immediately. Do it immediately. So say, for example, a child failed in mathematics. Knowing what I know now, you ask the child, what are the things that you will do differently? From day one, at least for 45 minutes, mommy, I will do maths. Great. Then what else will you do? I will get a better maths tuition and I'll take my tuition seriously. Brilliant. I will do more test papers. Brilliant. Now, these are your 3 action steps, darling. So I'm writing it, putting it up on the board. So let us together start doing it. Are you all getting that clear? So this is called the Quink philosophy. Kwikn, Quink. So this means very, very simple. The Quink always says that knowing what I know now, what are the lessons I learned out of the situations? Okay, that's the first step. Second step, immediately take action. Write this down, take action on that. Now, what many people do? I should have done like that. I should have done like this. My life should have been like that. Then they will make the same mistake again. This is where the problem lies. When they say insanity is making the same, doing the same things again and again and expecting a different result. You cannot do the same thing again and again and expect a different result. Please wake up. I think all of you should wake up. If you do the same thing again and again, you get the same result. So if you have done something and you have not got the result, then what does that tell you? That gives you feedback. That gives you feedback that you need to change certain things so you could get a different results. Are you all getting that? So write this down. The second step is action. So first step is Quink. Second step is action. You need to take action on what you have written till now. The third step, write this down, all of you. Come on. The third step is once you take action, measure your progress. Write this down. Measure your progress. Now, what does measure your progress mean? Now, say, for example, I did my cholesterol, okay, with my doctor. I think Anji is also over here. Anji is my doctor over here. Hi, Karthik. So he did the cholesterol test for me. And I realized that my cholesterol was a little high. Now, what did I do? Instead of sitting, I just used the Quink philosophy. Knowing what I know now, what do you think I should do different? I should change my diet. I should exercise regularly. And I should reduce my weight. Is that clear? So this is what I decided. I put on my action steps. Every single day, I changed my diet, started following a strict diet, started doing a little bit of exercises. And I'm going to tell you, in the last 2.5 months, I have reduced close to 11.5 kgs. I am now 64 kgs. 64 was my weight in 1998 when I went into medical college. Are you getting that? Now, the same cholesterol and losing out on my health over a period of time could have caused a lot of depression and anxiety to me later. I took control of my health and I decided that I will be responsible for it and start taking action and start using the Quink philosophy. Now, automatically, you saw how I lost my weight. Are you all getting that clear? Yes or no? So that's what we call as action steps. All right. So the first one is, so all of you type out on the chat box. Come on, everybody. Go, 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 go. Type out on the chat box. What did you all learn? So the first 3 steps. I want all of you to type out the first 3 steps onto the chat box. The first step is Quink. Second step is, come on, everyone, taking action. The third step is, yes, brilliant. Awesome. So these are the 3 steps that you need to follow. Yes. Quink, what I know now, action steps. Yes, Mamta. Brilliant. Action steps, and then you start doing it properly. All right. The next one is progress. The progress that you maintain, measure your progress. Okay. The fourth step of any depression, please understand. The moment you start getting results, the moment you start tracking, the fourth is the key step over here, which is celebrate. Now, many people, you know what? They really don't celebrate in their life. Come on, yaar, you've achieved so much. The very fact that you are achieved is why you feel upset, because you have set a high standard for yourself. So people don't celebrate. And I tell you, I am one of the biggest celebrators. I don't need anybody to celebrate. I just put a nice Dabbangutu music and I dance for myself. It could be in the toilet. It could be in the room, anywhere. You are your best friend. So if you're going to celebrate it yourself. Easily you can all celebrate. And that's where I call it the fourth step to handle depression is we need to celebrate. The moment you start celebrating, automatically you will start feeling happy. Progress equal to happiness. Write this down. Progress equals to happiness. The moment you start progressing, celebrating, keeping action, using those lessons, automatically you'll start seeing traction. And when you see that traction, that progress will start finding you happiness. The fifth point is that progress leads to happiness. Progress leads to happiness. Yes, that's the best way that you can need to create. The fourth step is celebrate, and the fifth step is progress. As you see that progress on your celebration, you truly start being happy about it. Is that clear with all of y'all? Yes or no? That's called progress equals to happiness. So these are the first 5 steps that I want every one of you to follow. Okay, this is the first 5 steps. These are the core steps, okay, which I have used for a lot of patients. Now next I'm going to give you the next 5 steps, which are the steps that can prevent you from going into depression. Now these are things that can help you come out of it. Now I'm going to give you 5 things that can prevent you from getting it. Okay, the first one, all of you write this down. The first one is called gratitude journal. Write this down. It's called gratitude journal. Yeah. Sorry, I just had to put my air condition. It just had gone off. So it's called gratitude journal. Now, what is the gratitude journal? Every single day, okay, every single day, you need to write down 3 to 5 things you are grateful for every single day. 3 to 5 things that you're really grateful for every single day. Now, let me ask all of you, do you have something that you're grateful for in your life? I want all of you to type out. There are around 55, 58 people watching this. I want all of you to type out on the chat box. Type out one thing that you're really grateful for. Come on, everybody. Just type out one thing that you truly are grateful for. That means if your life is going to end today, what are the things that you're really grateful for? Yes, come on. For me, if you ask me what are the things I'm grateful for, I would say I'm really grateful for my daughter. I am really grateful for all the people in my life. I'm really grateful for all the school owners who trust me and love me. I'm really grateful for all my family. Yes, Dimple says grateful for being alive. Rita says mom and dad. Riza says yes, family. Shruti says yes. Mamta says Queens, parents, yes, my life, my family. Exactly. All of us have something we are grateful for. Are you all getting that? Something that we really are grateful for. And now the question is, what is it that you want to focus? That's the key over here. Because wherever you focus is where you're training your mind to look into your life. So wherever you focus is where life is going to take you. Now, what does a gratitude journal does? A gratitude journal very beautifully reprograms your mind. It reprograms your mind to start looking at all the things that make your life worthy of it. Are you getting that? It makes your life worthy of it. So my take for all of y'all is start to look at a gratitude journal. Okay? Start to look at a gratitude journal. And I want all of you to write down at least 5 things that you're truly grateful for in your life. 5 things. It can be any 5 things. It can be any 5 things that you're looking for that can you be totally grateful for in your life. Brilliant. All right. So that's the first one. Are you getting that? That's the first one, gratitude journal, for among the 5 things to prevent. The second one, always have a support group. Write this down. Always have a support group. Now, what's a support group? Okay, always have a support group. Now, what is a support group? A support group is a group of people who come together to support you in times of crisis, in times of change, in times of stuff. They kind of support you. They are your support group. Are you getting that? So I want all of you to look at a support group, or what you can call this as a ventilation group. We can call it as a support group or a ventilation group. Somebody that you ventilate with. You know, you open your feelings out, you open your heart out, you open your mind out to somebody. That's your support group. Okay. So that's something that you really have to do. So first is gratitude journal. Have a support group. Now, very important in a support group. Don't allow people to criticize you, advise you, or judge you in that support group. Because if they start doing that, hey, I did like this. Oh my God, why did you do like this? Then that group can become a devastation group. Are you getting that? So that can become a whole new devastation group. So my take for all of y'all is create a brilliant support group who help you, who inspire you on your vision, who believe that it is possible that you can do things in your life. So the first one is gratitude. Second one is a support group that you can create that will actually help you. 3, have a fantastic hobby with you. It doesn't matter what your age is. Do something you love. You know what I love? I love dancing. Whenever I want, I just put up music and I do dance. I don't have any problem in dancing. That's my stress buster hobby. Are you getting that? So that way, you can have any hobby of your choice. Another hobby is for me playing some games with my daughter, or running around, or listening to inspirational stuff, listening to motivation or meditation. I have a lot of these hobbies. So you can pick up whichever works for you, anything that works for you. It could be even from small jogging to, looking at old photographs to, listening to nostalgic Ilayaraja music or A.R. Rahman music, anything that can take you to that theta level zone, you feel that you're in that zone. It can be anything. See, for example, I remember the Sagalagala Vallavan. All of you must be knowing. You all know that song in Sagalagala Vallavan called Ilamai Yido Yido. That song is very, very inspiring for me. I just put that song, I hear it again and again, and my level of energy goes up. Are you getting that? So you can pick up anything that you think about as something that can move your energy up to the next level. Is that clear? So that's the third one, which is your hobbies. The hobbies part you should need to do. The fourth one, other than this, that you really need to focus on is that you need to always have a release notebook. Write this down. It's called a release notebook. What does that say? That says whenever you're anxious about something, write out all your anxiety into a notebook. Okay, all your anxieties into a notebook. Read that page again and again. Tear that page out and psychologically just, tear it up and just say, I release these things into the universe. Only the best will come to me. I release these things into the universe and only the best will come to me. This is a very, very, very powerful psychological technique which psychologically releases a lot of anchors from your mind. Yeah. So that's a fourth step that you can use that will help you to release the anchors from your mind. Yeah. The next one. So all of you first, before we go into that, all of you type out the four steps. Come on, everybody. Type out the 4 steps. Come on. Type out the 4 steps. All the 4 steps that I told you that which will help you in protecting you from anxiety. Yes. And the fifth and the last step that I want to tell all of you is very, very simple. Exercise. It's the ease. Exercise. Maintain your energy and maintain your emotional quotient. Exercise, maintain your energy. Yes, Mamta's beautifully typed it out. Maintain your energy, exercise, and maintain your emotional quotient. So these are the major important depressions. Wow, beautiful, Shubs. Wonderfully typed. All of you look into the chat box what Shubs has typed. Brilliant, Shubs. Awesome job. Brilliant. Awesome. So that's the best way that you can handle actually depression. And I'm telling you, I challenge you. The 10 steps I have given it. Okay. All the 10 steps is there beautifully. Quick philosophy. Immediately take action. Measure your progress. Celebrate your success. Always keep progressing because progress equals happiness. And for prevention, the first step is a gratitude journal, 3 to 5 things every single day. Always have a support group to ventilate out of the things and the approaches. 3, have a fantastic hobby that can do something to relieve your stresses and any stress busters that you can have. Then have a release notebook where you can release. And the 5th one is maintain your energy. That is, maintain your energy, maintain your enthusiasm, and maintain your everything in your life. So my last taking is today. I hope all of you enjoyed this. And my really stake for all of y'all is this. Depression is a lonely phenomenon. It's a very, very, very lonely phenomenon. And I think a lot of people go through that. And I want all of you to understand, if you're going through that, please seek out hope. It can be a phone call from a loved one. It can be somebody you seek. Many people have been seeking me out inside of this lockdown every single day. And I always make it a point to respond to my friends, respond to people, because you never know. I've had calls coming to me saying that I wanted to commit suicide, but the last resort was to call you and talk to you. Because I know if I talk to you, I will at least think about not doing it. So I had all of this, but I think that's a blessing that God has given me, that I'm able to serve all of y'all. But I always suggest, please be that person to support people if they're going through crisis. And if you are going through crisis, just follow the instructions. And if you still cannot, please seek out help from a good psychologist or a good psychiatrist. And don't get stigmatized. Medicines are not the only cure for depression. We put you on medicines only for a short period of time. I don't put any of my patients more than 3 to 4 months. I only do it if it's very, very required and the illness is serious. Else, you'll be able to handle most of the things yourself. I think coping mechanisms is something very, very important. And these 10 steps are very, 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 very crucial in depth that will actually help you to handle your depression properly. Awesome. So, did you all like it? Yes or no? Type out on the chat box. How did you all enjoy it? Did you all enjoy? Yes or no? Come on. Yes or no? Did you all enjoy this? Yes or no? Brilliant. Awesome. All of you are writing it. Yes, 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 yes. Brilliant. So now, type out on the chat box. What would you like me to talk to you tomorrow? What would you like to talk to me to tomorrow? Just type it out on the chat box. Come on, everybody. What would you like me to talk to you and address to you all tomorrow? What topic would you all like? So I want all of you to type out the topic for tomorrow. So I've spoken about depression today. We've covered almost all areas of depression, from the causes, the features, the how to handle it, and what are the ways you can handle it. Yes. Yes, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. God bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of y'all. Yes. So tomorrow you can type out on the chat box, what would you like to do? And now I want you to type out before you all leave, okay? I want you to type out two take-home messages. Type out, everybody who's watching, 2 take-home messages for you from this talk. Whatever you have seen in this talk, 2 take-home messages. Please type out 2 take-home messages. I want all of you to type out 2 take-home messages. What is it that you're going to take home and immediately implement in your life? Yes. Positive thinking despite any negative situation. Pravalika, brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, Rani Auntie, brilliant Auntie. Yes. Nisha Amin, can you talk more about mental health? I've already spoken a lot, Nisha. I think you should watch this video again from the beginning. It's in the front portion. Yamini says conflict management. Brilliant. Manimekle ma'am says awesome. Thank you. Relationships in this pandemic. Yes. That's very, very important. Gurmeet says, type out on the chat box. What's your 2 big takeaways? Yes, Shakti says, release notebook and measuring progress. Brilliant, Shakti. Stay positive and self-care. Yes, Priya, that's very important. Yes, have empathy when another people is feeling depressed. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Yes, being hopeful and grateful. Yes, brilliant, brilliant. Awesome. Brilliant. All of you are doing this. Yes, life is beautiful. Yes, Shruti, life is really, really beautiful. Gurmeet, positive thinking and happiness. Yes, Gurmeet. Celebration. Exactly. Joy says, spend time with loved ones and see positive. Brilliant. Gratitude exercise. Awesome. Confidence and relaxation. Brilliant. Be empathetic. Help whomever you can by listening to them. Stay happy by following the 10 steps. Mamta, you're such a good student, Mamta. You come for all my talks. Brilliant. High five to you. You will really do well. Yes. Motivating children who are attending online class. Brilliant, Priya. Nitin, my friends did suicide, a childhood friend, but now I had something to share with my friends. Awesome, Nitin. Please share it. And that's my humble request. If you have got value from this talk, my humble request is put a note on your Facebook page saying what you learned out of this talk and then share it. Why I'm asking you to share it is very simple. I want to remove the stigma associated with mental health. It's not wrong to have an illness, yaar. When you have fever, do you have stigma? Everybody goes through. It's the same with mental illness also. And as a psychiatrist, my biggest aim is to break this barrier of this. So I would suggest a humble request for all of y'all. Kindly share this on your page with a note saying what you learned and what is your takeaway. And that's how people will start looking at it and saying, yes, that's her takeaway. That means there's a takeaway for me. That's my humble request for all of y'all inside of this. Look at the mirror and say, I'm proud of you. Exactly, Malavika. You can go one step further and say, look at the mirror and say, I love you for who you are and who you are not. That's a brilliant statement that you can say that will really, really help you in handling depression. Yes. Brilliant. Happiness and energy of you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Empathy, support, and listen to others. Brilliant. That's also a great thing that you can do in spite of this. All right. So with this, we come to the end of this session. Thank you so much. It's a great, great opportunity for me to be here and serve you all inside of this lockdown. If you all really, really liked this session, kindly share it with your friends with a comment. I don't want you to just share it. Share it with a note saying what you learned out of this talk. So that will be something we can spread and spread the message for everybody to say happy. Because I truly believe born to be happy. Seriously, that's my firm belief. If you look at a child, the child comes out crying, but that cry of the child gives us laughter. And I truly believe crying and laughing are two sides of the same coin. It's the duality of life. Life is in duality, up, down, good, bad, night, day. So same way, crying is also a normal emotion as much as laughing is a normal emotion. But we as human beings stigmatize crying. Why are you crying? Why is this crying? Oh, don't stigmatize. It's okay. It's a release of emotion. That's all. Like laughter is a release of emotion. Crying is also a release of emotion. I cry when I see an emotional movie. I cry when somebody speaks something very emotional. Why? Because it's natural to feel empathetic and cry with someone. So I feel all of you, please don't have that stigma of crying. If you feel upset, leave your tears out. That way you release that emotion. You feel very relieved and you can go on and start taking on the next emotion. Are you all getting that clear? Yes? Brilliant. So thank you all. And I want all of you to please understand that life is not in the big things. Life is in the small things, living the small things in a big way. I repeat, life is in the small things and living the small things in a big way. Awesome. That's what life is all about. And I think it was fantastic being with all of y'all and sharing these lessons for all of y'all. I hope this was of definite value. If you found it useful, just let me know in the chat box. Let me know your feedback on the chat box, and I will do more sessions. The next session is tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the night, and tomorrow's session will be the topic. I want to ask all of you. I want all of you to type out what topic do you want me to talk on. Yes, any topic of your choice. You tell me, and I will address that topic for all of y'all for 40 minutes tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Sharp 9 will start tomorrow. Yes, a lot of you have written a lot of about the topic. Yeah, small things are enough to be happy. Yes, exactly, Palavika. You just have to look at living small things in a big way. Live a fantastic life, ladies and gentlemen, because I tell you, your life is your biggest gift. There's no other bigger gift in your life. The fact that you're alive, you're healthy, you're looking out and enjoying, and be yourself, yaar. Be yourself. Bring out the child in you. Every day, bring out the child in you, at least for half an hour, 45 minutes. Bring out the child in you. And that is what will create an enormous impact in your life. Yes. Okay, Balaji says he wants about the COVID vaccine research. Okay. Topic, motivating kids who are attending online class. Okay. So let's do tomorrow on motivating kids. How to motivate kids in the lockdown. So that's the topic for tomorrow. Let's focus on motivating children. And I will do a session for you all tomorrow on motivating kids. Then we will do on COVID vaccine. Yes, I will do COVID vaccine. I'll get a couple of experts also with me to do on COVID vaccine. We'll do this one of these days. So I'm going to do 7 days, every day night at 9 o'clock. So thank you all for visiting. Please visit tomorrow, sharp 9 o'clock. We will start with motivating kids. How to motivate kids and how to engage kids inside of a lockdown, and how to build a healthy community of children who actually start living their lives. So that will be the topic for tomorrow, handling kids and motivating kids. Brilliant. That will be the challenges. Kadiravan says how to overcome the challenges. Kadiravan, you can look at my video that I did yesterday at 9 o'clock. That's a brilliant video called the 5E philosophy, where step by step I tell you how to handle your emotions and how to handle a crisis. So you can go through that. That's something brilliant. Greetings from Germany. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So tomorrow we'll see you all tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to have a session at sharp 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And the session is going to be on how do you motivate children, how do you engage children, and how do you handle children through multiple lockdowns. Okay. So that will be the talk that I will be giving all of y'all. So looking forward to seeing all of y'all. Kindly share this video with all your friends. If you have watched this video fully, kindly go back and re-watch this video. I have given you at least 50 to 60 points about so many things on depression. So I would like all of you to go back, go through the video again, take notes of all of this. Some of you have brilliantly done it in my session, but others, please go home and take the notes, keep the book, and start following. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen, only action produces results. Just seeing a talk and just understanding will not produce any results in your life. Take notes, go out there, take action, and start practicing what I've told you, and that will start bringing out the difference in your life. Are you all getting that? Awesome. Thank you all. Thank you so much. It's a great honor and privilege to be here. See you all tomorrow. Don't forget to share this video with your friends with a note telling how much you have learned and what are the steps you're going to take, and start sharing it. And I'll see you all tomorrow at 9 o'clock with the topic on how to motivate kids. All the parents come here for sure, because I'm going to give you very, very interesting points from Harvard research on how you can build character inside of kids and motivate and engage the kids. So that will be done tomorrow at 9 o'clock. All right. See you all. Bye-bye. Thank you all. It's a great, great honor and privilege for me here. And I will meet all of you all tomorrow.